Welcome, everybody. Hey, Sam, you're back again. You got 2 hours of me today, you lucky thing.
Yeah, and I've had problems with my audio because I'm out of house and I've
No
got
worries.
earphones and I can't seem to work them so I can hear through. I don't know how it works.
Well done for being here, my friend. Well done. There we go. Hey, Kim. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Yana. I hope we're all good. Welcome, guys, to our Recruit Strong Masterclass that we're going to be together today for an hour, really obviously focusing on how to build a super strong team. Let me just check. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you just put in it, give me a thumbs up, put me a message in the chat. You can all hear me okay. And the sound is all good. And also, we're streaming on, I can see, welcome Alicia, welcome Ben, and we've got an Amelia on zooming in. We've got from YouTube, we're on LinkedIn as well. So if you see me and looking in different places, we're just streaming across multiple different channels. So whether you're with us on YouTube, whether you're with us on Instagram, whether you're with us on Facebook or Zoom, welcome to our Recruit Strong Masterclass. Now, this is a training I get asked to do a lot, to be honest. It's a lot of, and fun enough, we're doing a lot of work on building team at the minute within our community, because often I get asked is, what comes first? It's like chicken and the egg. Do I grow my team? Do I grow my student numbers? The reality is you've got to be doing both at the same time, because you don't just be pushing this one and then suddenly like, oh, rubbish, crap. We need more students. And then now we need more time. I need more team, and then it's, they both need to be built together. So I said, welcome to our Recruit Strong Masterclass. I'm your host, Katie Cannon, the founder and director of Gold Medal Business. It's an honor to be with you this afternoon. We've got over 160 people registered for this masterclass. So we've got a lot of people who watch this on the recording for sure. So whether you are in the UK, in Australia, in New Zealand, we've had people register from New Zealand and Canada. So welcome if you're watching this on the replay as well. So a little bit of an intro if you're brand new to our community. If you just give me high five, pop in the chat box. If you're brand spanking new, never heard me speak before, haven't a clue who I am, just put in the chat box so I know where you're at on your journey with us at Gold Medal Business, and what events you may have attended. So just pop that in the chat. So I can see a little bit on socials, new. Few masterclasses, a lot of attended our consistent enrollment system masterclass. Fantastic. Well, welcome, Kim. First time. Fantastic. Welcome. And also what would be good, guys, is also just put in what your business is. So just could put in like what your business is and maybe how long you've been running, because we have a range of people joining our community, some from brand spanking, shiny new entrepreneurs to super established, like 20 years in, and obviously looking to refine and nurture and build from what they have built. So always good to know. Yana, 21 years. Incredible. Congratulations to you. Kim, 26 years. Woo! Congratulations, Kim. Billy, we've got 3 years. We've got a few newcomers. Chloe, 15 years. Sam, 20. Wicked. I love it. We've got some really established business owners in the children's activity world. Well done if you're established for staying the course, standing the test of time, going through the ups, the downs, the left, the rights. The obstacle that comes, building a business is an obstacle. It is like a roller coaster all over the place of ups and downs, twists and turns. So well done on staying the course and being here to build strong. So a little bit about my background for those of you who are brand spanking new. I was a British champion gymnast for 5 years, turned entrepreneur. I have built in the children's activity space for the last, I always say 20 years, but it's actually about 18. But I started a little bit earlier than my established business. So it's probably about 2006. So it is 20 years. I lose count. I did a podcast this morning, actually, and had to share my story. And it's not till you recap. And all those who have just said they're established and they're business owners, it's really important to look back at what you've actually achieved, because you forget what you've actually done and how you actually started, because you just think of where you are now. You forget of how much you've actually done. So never forget that, my friends. So I said, I've been in this industry for 20 years. I'm a mum of 3 to Amelie 11, Ashton 7, Joshua, who's nearly 3. I'm a massive believer of building multiple income streams, but also having freedom in your business. I'm a very hands-on business owner, but I'm also a very hands-on mum. I have very non-negotiables of taking them to school, picking them up from school, hence why this masterclass finishes at 3 o'clock, because then I then go and do the school run, and having holidays off. And the reason I share this with you, and a big subject today, is because it's all that wouldn't be possible without team. Now, over the last 20 years, you name it, I've done it. I've built a franchise model in the children's activity space. I had over 100 primary schools a week. My business is gymnastics. I've had multiple gyms. We've now still got gyms. I've got 2 very established gyms in the London area. And I share that with you because I don't just teach you from years of experience. I'm still in it. So I'm not just teaching you like, oh, this worked 10 years ago, let's do it. It's, this is working, tweak it, change it, let's put it in place right now. And I very much have said, been through where, like many of us been in business for a long time, I've started from the ground up, changing the bins, teaching 2 children in a class. Painful, so painful, isn't it? 2 children in a class, 2 things breaking, great team, crappy team, open venues, closed venues, systems not working, processes, you name it. And as I said, still building in today's world now. And that's why Gold Medal Business exists, to teach you the biggest thing we are very passionate about Gold Medal Business is enabling you to grow a business that can grow with you, but can thrive without you. And actually having a thriving business that pays you within and your vision and your goals or whatever you want to achieve. So that's a little bit about my background and how I can support you today. I always like to share that because if you're anything like me, I like to know I'm learning from someone who's been there, done it, and got the t-shirt and actually understands what's in my brain. So welcome, you're in the right community. It said we work with children's activity entrepreneurs from gymnastic to dance to football to basketball to cricket to skateboarding to art clubs to science. Our range is wide, I said, across 4 different countries. So recruiting strong, I want you just to put in the chat box, what's the biggest thing that you struggle with your team at the moment? Why are you here? What made this masterclass appealing that you think, do you know what? I'm going to give you my time for an hour. Let's make this count, guys. So what is it? That's the one thing that you think, I need to improve that in my team. So I'm seeing consistency a little bit on socials, consistency, quality of people, consistency, leaders, the right person. Yep, the right person. Replacing me. All good ones, guys. Yep. Sometimes the chats can be a bit delayed. Here we go. Don't have the team. So is this yours, Sam? Don't have the team to find someone to work with, but how to find them, knowing what I need first. Fantastic. Cool. So consistency, where to find them, looking where to, not sure with the pace I'm growing is wise or playing small. That sort of one, guys. If you need specific, just our lovely Jory, who's supporting me today. Hi, Jory. Can you just put the direct calendar in the booking link for everyone, guys, and put it on the socials as well. If there's specific things that you need specific support with, obviously in this class, because I'm talking to obviously and supporting everyone, certain things that are specific about your business, just book in a call with us. It will either be myself or my team. It's a 15-minute strategy call, and that's where we can actually understand more about your business. So yeah, Jory, if you can just pop that in the chat box, that would be super cool. Thank you. There it is. Amazing. Cool. Excellent, guys. Right. So my story with team, I'm going to share a little bit with you to inspire you today, to show that you can, we've been through it. I want you to know recruitment matters to be able to grow and scale your business. As I said, I have 3 different businesses with 3 children. I've basically got a different business for each child. I'm definitely not having any more children. Okay, that is enough. I have more businesses, but no more children. Love them dearly, but 3 is definitely the balance. But I wouldn't have. I remember in the early days, I worked about 100 hours a week. I didn't have a partner, didn't have children at the time, so I could do that. But I worked 100 hours a week and paid myself less then than I do now while working in the business, obviously 24/7. I remember very clearly considering sleeping at my gym one night. I remember being at the office desk about 1 in the morning But I was answering all the emails, catching up because I taught the classes till 7:30. Then I was on the emails and thought, you know what, I might as well lie on that sofa because it's dark. But I was like, it's freezing in here. No, I'm going to go home. But that was my mindset at the time. And reality is, the only thing to buy back time in your business is to build a team. That is the only thing. And the biggest question I get asked, I could take 10 times the amount I do from my gyms. But you know what? I wouldn't have the time. I'd be in them a lot. I wouldn't have the freedom. I wouldn't be here with you guys because I wouldn't have the time for this. And I wouldn't have the time with the children. So it's looking at, I pay for freedom now. I couldn't in the early days. And even if that looks like for you, it looks like an extra couple of hours of VA support. We'll talk about more of that in a bit. But even if that looks like a couple of hours of VA support, or it's a full-time role, getting support doesn't have to be a massive salary in your head. They think I'm so far off. Building team can feel more achievable than ever. It's more achievable than ever it's been before. A lot of the resources we have at our fingertips now, we did not have 20 years ago. So I pay for time now. So I delegate out because I think, do you know what? If you can do that position, and you much rather, one of my business mentors said to me, Katie, you much rather take $5,000 a month from a business than 12 if you're not in it. And I want you to think about that. And you relate this to your figures, whatever your figures are looking like. Whether you think, do you know, I could take $1,000 a month for my business. Or am I better to take 500 a month from my business? Depends on your finances, of course. But am I better to take 500 but not be in the business and have more time to grow it? So you look at your numbers, because it's a conversation I have with entrepreneurs all the time. And I'm like, you are so in your business, you're exhausted, you're knackered, you're burnt out, your business is not going to grow. You're better to take less, but have a smaller piece of the pie, but have your time. Your time is everything. This took me a good 10 years to realize in my business, for sure. And that's how, as our training progresses today together, of what you're starting looking for. If you're clear of what you're needing, you're then getting better at who you're finding and what that person needs to look like and feel like and need, and everything that goes around them. So my story with team said early days, did everything, built my team. I've had great hires. I've had really bad hires. I've had hires that have lasted literally, I think my winner, I had someone last a few hours. Woo, yeah, literally lasted a few hours, realized I didn't like taking phone calls, even though they're in an admin role. An admin and sales role actually doesn't like the phone. Oh, okay, you're not going to last 5 seconds, off you go. And you're like, oh, great. But literally, I've had really good ones and really bad ones. And I said, only now having the time I have is because I've learned how to recruit properly, and I pay good money, and they're salaried, a lot of them. Or if they're not, because of the nature of our business, they're consistent with the hours they've got and really giving them quality hours rather than hours everywhere. And I'm going to share with you a little bit on this, because this depends on our business models. Everybody's different. But one of the things that I changed after 10 years in the business, we operated over 100 primary schools a week. Great cash flow, logistical nightmare. And it wasn't until I had my second child that I was like, Katie can't save the day anymore. We got to change this. And there literally was, because I had a lot of staff doing 1 hour here and there. After school gym club, mornings club, breakfast club. We scrapped a lot of them prior COVID, didn't know it was coming, but that saved the business. And the reality was, and is in moving forwards, I know in our model, it can be so hard because they're like, you want to grab that business. You want to grab that from the school and be like, I'll be there 4 till 5. I can get you a dance teacher, not a problem, because you don't want to miss the gig. But the reality is, in long fall, can you actually get consistency of that teacher? Because nowadays, it will cost them more to get there with travel, depends on where we are. And your hourly rate is going to be so huge. So if you are in that model where you're free, like we were working out of schools, village halls, you don't have either a permanent studio or a permanent gym yet, whatever your business looks like, try to group together things. Avoid taking 1 hour classes where you can, because you're not going to get that quality of team and that quality of staff. So try and say, maybe you could do 2 hours. Or if we don't work with schools now, but a lot of clients I work with, I'll say, if you've got those contracts, say, look, I can do a morning club into curriculum, into a lunchtime club. That's 5 hours of work for someone. That is decent. So you can still do, because that's the nature of our business, working in schools, working in nurseries, working out of village halls. It's never going to change. That's the nature of it. But you need to just find a better strategic way of working with team members and working with staff, because otherwise you're going to get that inconsistency. So that was one of the things I saw come up a lot in the chat, is inconsistency, people coming, people going. And unfortunately, our industry can be quite flippant like that, because you're working with a lot of younger staff. But it's finding where can we actually give them a chunk of hours, and it will make your life so much easier. So we restructured the business and went, you know what? We've done 1 hours here and there for a while. It doesn't work anymore. We can't get consistency. We can't deliver this product to the quality we want. So that's changing the model. So I said, I've had the highs and lows of staff. I've had great ones. I've had great managers. The thing, the big transition for us is when we went to managers and we had salaried people. Now, I know that's not possible for every business. This depends on where you're at. If you're permanent premises, and you've got the lease, and you can have classes Monday to Sunday, 1,000,000,000% you should be salaried. So you can then offer someone a permanent position. That is very appealing. My main managers, center managers, area admin, sales managers, head coaches, they're all salaried, but I can give them permanent hours. They've got 40-hour contracts. But if you're not got that, look at ways that you think, where can I chunk hours together for you? So that you are here, in this village hall from 3 till 8 p.m. on a Monday, 3 till 8 p.m. on Thursday, and all day Saturday. So chunk things together. That's how you're going to get more quality out of your team. That's definitely been, as well as everything I'm going to teach you now, one of the biggest game changers for us. So people are lovely. We love people, but they're humans. Humans come with problems. Unfortunately, we're in a business. We work with humans. We work with people. We're always, no matter what we do. So everything we're going through today will eliminate and alleviate some of the stress. It won't completely fix the issue, because you're working with humans. You're working with different problems coming up. But the main thing and main target I wanted you to get from this masterclass is how to foresee the problems. You get better at recruiting. You get better at finding people. You get better at knowing what the hell you want as well, quite frankly, because that can be some of the battle. And you get better at training. Whatever goes on around those 5 points, who cares? We can't control it. Let's not worry about it. So when someone leaves you, when someone decides they don't take the job, I want you to take the emotion out of it. This is one of the things, and just put emotion. If you find when someone leaves you or someone doesn't take the job, depends who leaves you. Depends if they've been with you 10 years. That's a different emotion. But I'm talking if someone has not taken the job, or you can't find the right person, or someone, you come to the interview and you get pissed off because you're like, oh God, I've interviewed how many people today, or I thought I had that person was going to be correct. Just put emotion if you're feeling that. And I want you to take out the emotion out of it. This is a numbers game. If you're doing the numbers correctly and you're doing these 5 principles correctly, the emotion needs to be taken out of it. You can't control what there is in their brain. You can only control your processes. And when you work like that and use that for every part of your business, you will find you're like this in business. Yeah. If you feel like you're an emotional roller coaster and like, woo, and 1 minute you're like, the numbers are amazing, let's celebrate, woo, and then numbers are dipped, and then up and down, and then staff members and systems and processes and team and equipment and everything in between. You want to just keep it like this, otherwise you'll burn yourself out. So it's keeping the emotions here. Of course, celebrate the highs. I'm not saying just like, we've achieved amazing, let's not celebrate, but just keeping your emotions at standpoint so that you can keep your business flowing without the energy spiking up and down too much. You're not reacting to everything in your business. You're choosing on what to react with. Okay. So in taking team ownership in your business, people are the challenge. Now, right team members will give you excellent customer service, because they're going to deliver that for you. They're going to reduce your management and stress and your emotions, like we just talked about. Obviously, it's going to improve your retention, because we all know what, going through too many members of staff does to your business. And I can tell you a bit of an example, because this is hilarious. My child, Amelie, does a lot of gymnastics, right? And the club she goes to has a lot of turnover of admin staff. And I often say, I'm like, oh, it's a different person on the desk. No joke. Every month, it's a different person on that desk. And I say, I never quite, I don't ask them about it, but I'm like, oh, we've got a new person. But Emily always says, a different person, mum. There's a different person on the desk. Now, I don't know what goes on there. Don't know. But that is just, they're not even teaching Emily. But if it's the same teacher, that's, you know, you're getting that flow through the teachers, then, and the attrition is going, you know, you don't want that. You're not going to get any consistency in the child's class. But I notice it on the front desk. It's a different face. It's a different face. It's a different face. So I noticed that. And I'm like, gosh, if I'm noticing that, what are people thinking? So thinking, now start thinking as you're going to different activities, whether you've got children that are in activities or not, start really thinking, are they good on their customer service? Are they not? Look at how they communicate with you. So start seeing feedback from that. And then also not just children's activity entrepreneurs, think of just different things you go to. Look, if you're going to a gym and you maybe do a particular class each week, is it a different instructor? Look at the turnover, look at their welcoming, look at how they recruit, look at the different caliber of people they've got. Okay. So great team members deliver excellent customer service, reduce management and stress, will improve your retention, will protect your reputation, and obviously you'll then grow. So you've got the capacity to grow when you've got the right people in place. The wrong ones is time and energy. It's going to really zap your time and energy. Your team morale, that massively dips. Inconsistency for customers. And obviously it's going to cost you. And I just wanted to dip in a little bit on team morale, because we had this chat as a team last week. And at the minute, we've probably got a team of like, we recruited like 5 or 6 new people last year. And I was trying to teach, like, say it like a bit of an analogy to an analogy to my leaders. And I said to them, I want you to think of it a bit like this, right? It's like you're recruiting a new class. Yeah. So almost think you'll recruit a new faculty of students, a new faculty of members of staff. And last year we had probably about, say, 5, 6 new members of staff come on board. And 2 are shining. Fabulous. Love them to bit, like really they've been promoted. They are shining. The rest, a little bit wobbly. Sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're not. They're a little bit wobbly. Yeah. Sometimes they feel they need a little bit of pulling through. Yeah. And I'm like, it's okay. Some will rise, some won't. Some will be with us for years. Some will be with us 6 months. Some will be with us a year. So we're now doing another recruitment process. So it's like every time you do it, some will rise, some won't. And always think, if you interview 10, 2 will take the job, or 2 will be right for the job. And then let's say you recruit 10, 2 or 3 will survive. So it is, you just got to work those numbers and just focus on the actions and take your eye off the ball with the results. What will be when the right people you find, that will turn into results. So really focusing on the action rather than just really focusing on that person's perfect, I need them to join me. Focus on the action rather than the results. But team morale is important, because we find, as I said, those that are rising to the top, there was a few that were bringing people down. And we were like, gosh, you know, they're the ones, we need to nip this in the bud. You know, you're either here or you're not. We're not having any of that negative energy, because it brings the team down. So always remember, hire slow, fire fast. Now, I want you to start getting a real good feel for your company in terms of, what does great actually look like? Because sometimes we're like, we just need a dance teacher. Just need someone who can teach art. I just need someone who's wicked in basketball. That's all I need. Who can teach skateboard? Let's find them. I need to find them. Where are they? But what does great actually look like? And I want you to think of, I want you to recruit on values, not skills. Skills matter, of course. And I can't tell you guys the amount of times we put up an Indeed advert and say you've got to have gymnastic experience of some course. And, you know, I love pizza as much as the next person. And they're like, I'm a pizza delivery driver, no experience in gymnastics. And then someone else is like, I've got all this experience, but all like to do with food, nothing to do with sport and nothing. And we're like, okay, you do need the skills of some description. Okay, I love that. Clearly, you've not read the application at all, you know, but value, you're hiring on value, not skills. has said, this depends what you are hiring for. So, story here. My gym is recreational. We don't do high level gymnastics. The politics are mad. I'm not going near there. And I can't duplicate or scale that, because you try finding world-class gymnastic teachers. It's insanely hard. So we're all about a forward row, a cartwheel, and a handstand, and have a great time. Lots of energy, fitness, fun. Yeah, that's our motto, basically. And I interviewed a Romanian gymnastic coach. He was awesome. Blimmin' good. I sat there, I was like, I learned from him. I actually felt like I used to get my pad. I was like, why teach that skill like that? What a great idea. I was like, geez, I could just sit and learn from this guy. But I didn't hire him. His energy was crap. I thought, he is not going to fit with our team. And I always think, can I work with this person? Do I like this person? And I help this person, because they're going to have to learn. They're going to have to be a team player. Would they fit in with our team social? And if the answer is no, then it's a no. I don't care how good they are, because they don't gel with the team. So you've got to get clear on what are your values. Now, ours are, we're all about energy. We're all about professionalism, reliability. We want kindness. I want fun in my teachers. I don't want that you can teach them absolute double back with a triple back turn or whatever. Yeah. Couldn't care less about that. That's great for some gyms. That's great. And that's why I said, know your values. Just because you might have a dance school around the corner that is literally smashing out high level dancers, all going to West End, all at stage school, and they're recruiting a different kind of person. And if you are literally under fives ballet, you're going to have it's a different market completely. So it's not just a different market for student attraction, it's a different attraction for clients. Okay. The same with tuition. It's looking at your tuition business and thinking, okay, are people wanting 11 plus? Or are they just wanting some year 2 support to help them with their maths and English? So I've been through all of this. So my Amelie's just done the 11 plus, didn't get in, unfortunately, such a hard exam, but she went for it. But we needed a tuition for 11 plus. But Ashton is just struggling with maths and English at the minute. He just goes to he's going to Kumon, actually. He does Kumon, and that's fine for him. That's great. Perfect. Does the job. So what are you looking for? So just go in. And I hear this all the time. People say, my market is so competitive, Katie. I'm like, it's not competitive. The world is competitive. How many food, restaurants, nail salons, hairdressers, like the world is full. The world is busy. It's not busy if you know your market and it's niched and your messaging is clear. It's all about messaging. Super, super important. That's not, I could talk about marketing all day long for about 3 days straight. That is all in terms of marketing. Okay. But keeping focus. What is your values? What are your values? What are you looking for? What is your ideal client? What is your niche? That over skills. Now, obviously, if you're looking for a high-end person, skills matter for sure, but still look at values. Yeah. Recruit values first. Parents remember. So these can be part of your values. Parents remember enthusiasm. They remember warmth. They remember professionalism. They remember if they feel trusted and like a valued member being there. So if you have someone that comes, you think, I really love them. I love their energy. They're really warm, happy, smiley. They're great with the children. They could just be done. I don't care how they are. We can teach the skills at our level of gymnastics. We can teach the skills and put them through some training courses. But I can't teach personality. I've miserably tried. I cannot teach it, and it's a waste of time. Okay. You can't teach it. So literally warmth, you get that feeling from someone straight away. We all know that, energy, vibe is massive. I teach all across everything. One of the reasons we do one-to-ones in our community at Gold Medal Business, why we have a phone call with you before you get onto any of our high-end one-to-one programs, why in our programs that we have Q&A and teaching sessions, is because it's about connection. It's not just a self-study, off you go, try your best and never speak to you again. It is energy, it's connection, it's relationship building, it's everything in business. Wherever you are in your business, it is absolutely everything. And I can say that across a coaching business, across a property business, and across a gymnastic business. 3 very different industries, very different, but it's exactly the same, all the same. And when you're recruiting, whether you're recruiting a VA, whether you're recruiting a salesperson, whether you're recruiting a high-end dance coach, whatever, it's the same. It's exactly the same. So you need to look for warmth, enthusiasm, professionalism, trustworthiness. So it's just really important that you know that the communication has to be there. So when you're recruiting, I want you to look at we call it a 5-step process. So your 5-step process is, the first one is a clear job description. Sounds obvious, but it depends what role. Don't just have one role for one description for every role. Get super clear on, is it a manager role? Is it a teaching role? Is it an admin role? Is it a sales role? What is it? So get super clear on what is the role. What are you looking for? Obviously, clear on the job descriptions. We know that. Salary, hours, what you're looking for, role of the job, expectations. But please make sure, we all know that piece, but the piece I see missing all the time is personality. Who are you looking for? What does this person need to bring to your company? Please put in as well. Please put in to your job description what kind of team you are, what culture, what's your mission, what's your values. Please don't be afraid to put that in there. That will actually set you apart from many job descriptions that are out there. What are you looking for? And try to go above and beyond. Don't just look at things like, don't just say like, we're looking for a hardworking person. We're looking for someone who's driven. Everyone says that. Use ChatGPT as your help on this. Put in what you want, put in your values, get them to create something for you that stands out. We're so lucky these days with that tool. It's about using it effectively. Don't copy it. Don't just pull off anything it brings. Make sure it's about you and your brand, and it's got your logo in, and you're using it in the best way with your website and how you speak. So you're not just sounding like everybody else in your job descriptions. So clear job description. Now, I learned this the hard way in the early days of building managers, because I would recruit managers the same as I was recruiting gymnastic staff. So I remember finding my first centre manager that was going to take over me, and I recruited them like a gymnastic member, and they lasted about 3 or 4 months. And to be fair, they were fair on them. They were a great gymnastic teacher. They were just crap at leading. They weren't a manager, but that wasn't their fault. That was mine, because I didn't ask them leadership questions in the interview. I didn't ask them about management questions. I asked them about teaching positions and how they would react to certain circumstances in a teaching, in a gym environment. So getting clear on what you're looking for. So you want to be clear on, if you are recruiting a teacher, your questions are going to be very different than if they are a manager. So if you're a manager, I'm asking questions like, how do you lead people? Have you worked with people? How many people have you worked with before? How many people have you managed before? Tell me about a few areas that you've worked with people, and maybe a few circumstances that have come up that have made you feel uncomfortable, or that you feel like you've thrived in. How did you deal with certain problems that occurred to you? That's a very different conversations than tell me the gymnastic skills you can teach. What levels have you taught? What ages have you taught? Very different. So it becomes, you're crystal clear going in. What are you looking for and what are you not looking for? Same with leaders. Certain things in manager positions, I'm looking for KPIs. I'm like, have you managed KPIs before? Are you good at tracking numbers? Are you good at leading a team? Yeah, communication. That is all part of that position. So get clear on what you're looking for. So that's number one. Number two, how do you actually attract quality candidates? Now, this is exactly like marketing. You should be, like I began at the beginning, building both at the same time. You're always recruiting for new students. You shouldn't ever stop. You should always be recruiting for new staff. You shouldn't ever stop. Now, even if you don't have a position, I have been known to we're interviewing, but if we don't have a position, we're building our database. And if we don't have a position, they have to be insanely phenomenal for me to find a position for them. Because we all know that magic unicorn doesn't come along every day. So if we don't have a position, we're still interviewing, but we are very fussy. And we were just like, unfortunately, the position, you haven't got the position at the minute. We'll keep in touch with you. Can we keep your details on file? Every time we've got a position coming out, they'll be informed. So we're building our database, just like you're building your database of students all the time. You're building your staff, you're building your team. So building all the time. Now, if someone comes along that I think, do you know what? This is my manager. My center manager came a year early than I was planning. So my plan was to come out of teaching Saturdays and to have a full center manager in place when Ashton, my middle one, was starting school. So because I thought I'd only work in weekends, so that was all the plan. Now this person came a year earlier, so they actually started when he was actually in nursery, not school, but they were too good to turn down. So always be, and that will help you grow as an entrepreneur as well, because you might be thinking, I don't have the budget. But then also think, if they are replacing me, what else can I be doing to grow the business? And I always recommend, just so I say, when you're investing in anything, whether it's mentorship, whether it's equipment, whether it's a new venue, whether it's new staff, always break it down into a really manageable piece in your head and think, how many students do I need to cover that? So if you need someone and someone's got like £400 role, £400 a month, and you charge £50 a month membership, for example, you would literally do 500 divided by 50, you need 10. You only need 10 students. Nothing. That's nothing. 10 new students to fill that role. That's nothing. And break everything down. So I always say this about our silver mentorship, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. Our silver mentorship is £99 a month. That's 1.5 students. Think. A couple of cups of coffee here and there. I'm going to Starbucks a couple of times a week, or whatever you like to spend your money on. It's nothing. So the same with everything in your business. We're building a team. Just always think, I can afford that. Because your main role as the entrepreneur is to be solution driven. If you don't make investments in your business or yourself, you'll be in the same place this time next year. And I see people in our community that have been with us years on end. Gold Medal's been running for 3 years now. I had someone come back to us 2 months ago for one-to-one mentorship that I spoke to 2 years ago, and they were in the same place. They weren't ready then. I said, you're not going to change anything. They're like, no, I'm ready. I'm not ready for the next 2 years to go past doing the same thing. So it's the same thing. Break it down. How many students do you need to make that position happen? So finding quality candidates. Same with marketing. There's no magic formula. It's about doing them all. Same with the marketing, word of mouth, referrals, internal, external marketing, front end, back end, making sure you're using your internal marketing, referrals, customer care, all of that. Facebook ads, Instagram, Google, all it's doing them all. Leaflets, local events, whatever you find the most successful. It's about doing them all. We call it like the 8-wheel of marketing. It's not one magic thing that I say, if you do that, it's going to change your business. It's not. I'm going to teach you real. It's about business foundations. The biggest thing we teach is it's not one magic thing that's going to change it. And if you're doing that, your business is dangerous. It's about digging in daily and consistently, really basic business foundations that are going to be here, that are going to serve your business today, but also going to serve your business in 20 years' time. It's not doing the magic algorithm thing that's going to be like, oh my God, do this and it's going to change your business. Yeah, it might help. If you stop doing everything else, you'll just swing in circles like this all the time. So quality candidates, mixture of, we do really well. These are our top ones. Indeed, love Indeed. We do very well on Indeed and referrals. We offer a referral fee for every person that comes to us that's referred and they become a member of staff, not just an interviewer. They have got a contract. They get £100 each. Our business, we do it very well by referrals. That's my favorite one for sure. But Indeed mixed with referrals. We also will reach out to our customers if we've got a particular role available. This works very well for admin and sales or marketing. Because you're likely with your team, let's say you've got 300 members and then you've got a lovely, lovely database of parents. You're likely to find someone in that knows someone who's good on the phone or good with admin or good with marketing. You're likely not going to find a dance teacher in there, but good luck. You never know. You've got to ask. But that is really good for positions, especially if it's around school hours. Every admin and salesperson I've ever found has come from our parent list all the time, often members of ours. Every single one has always come from there. I've never recruited admin on sales off Indeed. Indeed has always been coaching positions or manager positions. We've also done Facebook ads for recruiting. Personally, not my favorite. I love Facebook ads for everything else. Don't do very well, but I said, try it. Every market's different. Every activity's different. you can absolutely try it. Unis, colleges, sports fairs. We get a lot of apprentices this way. Colleges, not secondary schools, we want them a bit older than that, but colleges, and get in with the recruitment team, recruitment fairs, whatever they're called. But colleges and unis, that can be really good for getting them into your organisation locally as well. And often can be really good if they start on a lower fee, if it's an apprentice level. So you can see there, but it's also cheaper. That is uni and colleges, we're not going to pay for that. That's free advertising. That's us getting our information into the uni or into the college. But as I said, my top favourites are Indeed and referrals. I would say 95% come from that. And often the trickle comes from the other things that we do. So it does depend what role it is. As I said, with sales and admin, that's always, we've never put that on Indeed. It's always come from people we know, first of all. Okay, so number one, guys, clear role description. Number two, attract quality candidates. Number three, this is my favorite, screening. Okay, so I love a video. As I said, big on vibe, big on energy. I can tell in 5 seconds whether that person's going to make it into a practical. So they fill out an application form. We then send them with their CV. They send their CV. We will then send them a short description on Indeed saying, thank you very much for your application form. Thank you very much for sending your CV. Please send a 3-minute video detailing why do you want this job, your experience, and what you feel you can bring to this position. Why do you want this job? Your experience. What can you bring to this position? Maximum 3 minutes. Please send it to this email. What that does, it filters the rubbish. People can easily click, as I said, we get a lot of delivery drivers. People can easily click, apply, 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 apply. A lot of them don't even know what they've applied for. This, when you get a video, they've thought about it. It's probably taken about half an hour to do the video because they've thought about it. They've thought, oh God, I need to look presentable, do my hair, put a bit of makeup on, but look presentable, whatever it is. I've had some shocking videos. In fact, it's a comedy act. It's hilarious. It's really funny. My 11-year-old, bit of teaching for her. I get her to watch some of them, bit of learning for her for when she interviews, and I said, would you require this person? And you know what she says? She said, they say a lot. Or she's like, they not even brushed their hair. Or they look like they've just got out of bed. Honestly, there are some shockers out there, but it's high entertaining. But you're filtering out because you don't want them to come to your premises and be a waste of time. I said, you will get a vibe straight away when you get that video. And most of the videos we get, unless they're really shocking, they are invited to a practical. We do give them a little bit of give. Not everybody loves video. Okay. Even though it's prominent in today's world, I'm very clear, like, you know what? They've given it their best shot. Let's see them in real life. We reward the effort of doing the video, unless they're shocking. So we're not like they didn't come across well on the video. I'm looking at the energy, their experience, how they put the effort into the video, what they say on the video as well. But I'm not so quality of the video. And if they're a bit like Minari and I look past that because I think I'm not interviewing you for TV. You're coming into the gym. That's what I'm interested in. The more things they've gone to the effort, they've done it. They've gone above and beyond. I even have people read scripts. Great. I don't ask them to read a script. They've prepared a script. I can clearly see they're reading off a script. Do you know what? I don't care if you're reading off a script. You've put some effort in. You've thought about it. And that's what matters to us. So you find, but I said, it's really great. We love it. We read it. And sometimes we say, send us a fun fact about yourself. We've had all sorts. We had one that going, I like making fajitas. I was like, I love fajitas. Love it. Let's bring her in. Okay. But, just a bit of energy, a bit of personality. Yeah. Again, you're teaching children. Why do you love children? You're not interviewing for an accountancy job or something that's not customer facing. Bit of vibe, bit of energy, great. That's what we're after because that's what we're all about. So number one, clear role description, attracting quality candidates, video, initial screening. Number 4, interviewing for behavior. We briefly touched on this, but this can be when they're coming to you. You can ask this in your practical, and you can also ask this in your video as well. You will mirror this and find your own way of doing this, but it's working. It's looking at, like I said, on when you're interviewing them, of looking at how you've got that clear description. So when they're sitting in front of you, it's asking them questions that are related to their job. How would you handle this situation with a child? This parent is concerned on this. What would you do? What is the solution? Describe me the situation. Tell me how you'd handle this with your team. How would you tell that team member that they need to improve on this? That's a manager one. That's more of a leadership one. But you find questions that are in line with your service, and then think, okay, how can I get the best? You're trying to provide the question to evoke the response that you want. So if you're asking the right question, you're going to get the right answer. If your question's fluffy, you're going to get a fluffy answer. So you could maybe say, right, okay, a child has had an accident in class. What do you do? Now, with no training at all, they should say something like, you put it in the first, get some first aid, put it in the accident book, have a chat with parent at the end. I mean, that's the three basic things. Even if they've had no training, they don't know what you do. But chatting to the parent at the end. We actually put, this is a great one, we actually put a red band around someone that's had an accident. So just a little wristband, so that if there's anything, knocked their nose, knocked their elbow, anything, that we just speak. So we know that parent needs to be told at the end, cover your back. Yeah. And it helps the teachers know of, like, if they've forgotten that, especially if it's just a little knock on the arm, you never know with children. You can't be too safe. So they just have to just let you know, she knocked her elbow. She's absolutely fine, joined in the class, but that's why she's got the red band on her. And take the red band off when she goes out the door. So those sort of questions, okay? How would you handle this? What would you do in an accident? What would you do with a concerned parent? 3 or 4. Again, you'll get the vibe. You're looking for them not to really know the answers, even though they will know most of it. You're looking for common sense. You're looking for them just to think outside the box. I can't tell you enough in the early days. Again, now they don't even get to the I interview very last stages for management now. But for practical, they will do the clear role description. We'll do, obviously, we're attracting them on the right platforms that I've told you about. We do the video, they're coming to the practical. And at the mix of the practical, we'll do a sit down with them as well. So we will do a practical first. So I recommend do the practical first. Do not sit down with them for half an hour and then do the practical. The reason is we can tell if they're going to be good enough to move forwards. If the practical went really badly, there's no way we're going to sit down with them after. I mean, the sit down would probably be about 2 or 3 minutes summarizing. But we're not going to waste time with people that we think, no, that was a really bad interview. We can't go forwards. So I recommend getting straight in practical. And our practicals are normally 1 and 2 positions. So we normally do 1, watch the class. Feel free to join in when you're comfortable. Help with the warm-up, help with the basics. If a kid's sitting down, is crying, give them a bit of comfort, stand them up, talk to them. They're not teaching the class. Again, they're just using their children's skills. We're looking for people skills. We're looking for children's skills. You can't teach that. You can teach the skill. And we can see that straight away. If someone sits in the corner for most of the session, it's going to be a no. But most people that are successful, after 5 minutes, they're up helping. And that's all we want to see. Second practical, they're invited back. They then do a practical. They're then giving a certain task or a certain skill to teach. So you're really recruiting, first of all, values. You're recruiting on values. You're recruiting on personality, how they mingle with the team. And then the second one. And sometimes if someone's really good, we just say, can you just stay another hour and do another practical now? Because that was really great. Save you coming back next Tuesday. Can you stay another hour and just teach? Most of the time they say yes. It just speeds up that process for them. Okay. So you're interviewing, as I said, on the practicalities, and you're looking at the energy and the vibe and their enthusiasm and how they are with people. Remember, like I said, can't teach personality, can teach skills. Can't teach children skills and how they are and how, no matter what experience they've got, it doesn't matter. They can connect with the children. Tell some jokes. See a child that's crying. Naturally, show some empathy. You shouldn't have to teach that. You're teaching the skills. So you'll know straight away. We all know when they come into a room, you can tell very quickly if they're going to sink or swim. Okay, so here are the main mistakes when we're looking at when we're looking at mistakes, you're looking at, if you're not hiring consistently, you can get desperate. So you hire so quick and then not the right person because you're desperate. So mistakes I see all the time: desperation, ignoring red flags. If you've got any inclination that they're not right, do not move forward with it, especially managers. If they're just doing a Saturday morning, few hours here and there, give them a go, but not full-time positions. So desperation, red flags. Don't hire on qualifications only. Always ensure you're checking references. I suggest 2 references. Don't hold on to poor performers for too long. And don't assume people understand your expectations. So don't assume that they know what you do and what your expectations are. We've done a lot of work on this in the last couple of weeks in our community. Just don't assume they know what you need and what's in your head. You have to train it. And remember, the quality of your team will ultimately determine the quality of your customer service. They're all interlinked, which then in turn builds retention, or you're losing customers. So those 5 steps are super important when you're looking at every angle of how to mindset, to leading that person, to building questions, to finding the right candidate, and doing it time and time again. You should have people being interviewed every single month in your business. As I said, building that database so that when a position comes up, you can naturally go, do you know what? Email it out. You have an email list for everything else. Why not your staff if you haven't got one already? You should be building that list all the time of prospective candidates, okay? So what's resonated so fast, guys? I just want you to put in the chat box, if we're all still awake, I hope we are, just put in the chat box one thing that's been the nugget. I said, Rome's not built in a day. You're not going to implement all 5 in the next 5 minutes. But what's one thing that you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that straight away? One thing. It's all about implementation. Implementation is everything. Recruiting like you market for students. Awesome, Kim. Yeah, for some reason it's in different parts. Your marketing plan is recruiting. It's not just students. For some reason, we always just think marketing is students. It's over here. It's in another place. Yeah. Continue looking for candidates. Yeah, constant. I'm seeing constant all over the place. Constant recruitment, not just when needed. Absolutely. And when you focus like that, your mindset switches. It's the same as when we teach people about marketing. And it's always like, I'm recruiting when I need more students. That's backwards. It's absolutely backwards thinking. You should be marketing all the time. Your business is open 365 days of the year, even if you close for seasons, some holidays, whatever your business structure. Think of every shop. If you think of retail business, if it shut its doors, that's their marketing, isn't it? As soon as they open their doors, obviously they've got other marketing going on, but really their footfall is their doors are open, they're marketing. So your business, you need to be marketing all the time. And your recruiting is a marketing. It's all falls. You're recruiting students and you're recruiting staff members. Okay, perfect. So what we've covered today, guys, is a small squidge of what we teach within our Silver Masterclass, our Silver mentorships, all too many M's. So at Gold Medal, we have 2 levels of mentorship. We have Silver Mentorship, which is our starter program with us at Gold Medal Business. What this includes for you is everything we've taught today. So we cover everything from systems to processes, from team, marketing, financial planning, organization, team development, and building you the CEO. So we have core systems that we focus on, and the aim of it is to get you, for everyone going through our Silver Mentorship, the aim is to get you out of the business within 12 months. Whether you're still hand-holding certain things, it means you've got the ability and the education behind your business to have systems and processes that can run with and without you. So we focus around 6 main systems that you can implement, from team to team development to building you the CEO, financials, and obviously big one is marketing. Now within our Silver Mentorship, we have a Tuesday Q&A and Thursday training. Now, you're here, whether you're showing up live on Zoom or you're on our socials or you're watching this on a replay, this is if you're a hobby business, this isn't for you. This is for you. You're here, you've turned up, you've given your time, you've given your presence. This is for you if you're fed up of not really making big steps forwards. You need the support of like-minded people, and you need people who have been there, done it, and got the t-shirt. I really wish this existed 20 years ago when I started my gyms, for sure, because I wouldn't have wasted a lot of money and time that I did. But this is for you if you're serious about growth, you're wanting to commit. You don't just want to self-study where you're left to your own devices. This, as I said, it's a hybrid. Tuesday Q&A, Thursday coaching. We have 3 different coaches across different backgrounds that support with all of our Q&A. So you don't just get my wonderful self. You don't just you won't have to listen to my boring voice all the time. We have multiple coaches that come and support you, all with big businesses in different countries. So you get a hybrid of self-study with our core systems mixed with accountability calls. I would not be where I am today across 3 different industries if it wasn't for the mentorship that I've had. I've had it all. I've done high-end masterclasses. I've had one-to-one support. I've done self-study. I've done group courses. And the biggest thing of why I developed the hybrid for you, your success comes when you mix the 2 together. Self-study on his own, yes, you'll get results, but you won't get accountability. You have to have, when you mix the speed of our community is because they're doing the systems, they're implementing, but they're implementing fast because they can come the next week. I've got a question. If you can't attend live, put it in the Facebook group, reach out to our community. We have many people watching on recordings, as I said, we're across multiple different countries, but you have the Tuesday Q&A support or the Thursday training. Each training on the Thursday, to give you an idea what we cover, we've just done leadership and mindset of building your team for the last 3-4 weeks. We've done a month of marketing. We've done a month of financials. So every month we have a different theme. Now, in terms of our masterclass, our silver mentorship is normally $149 a month. Throughout our masterclass, for anyone who's signed up, I think it's till Sunday. I'm pretty sure it is till Sunday. You get it for £99. That's £99 per month. And as I said before, 1.5 students, depends what you charge. It's 1.5 students. We've made it super reasonable, but super high value, because the whole point is to get you in, to get you to, very much learn, get you moving, build the trust in our community and what you can achieve so you can then grow. I don't want anybody ever saying to me, I can't afford mentorship. You're not going to grow. Trust me, 20 years in mentorship, growing businesses, wouldn't be where I am without it. You have to invest to grow. Otherwise, you don't know what you don't know. Otherwise, your business would be there. So, as I said, but one of the best things we've got with our silver mentorship, it's £99, as I said, literally till Sunday. This is our really lovely, lovely bonus for you guys. I've heard about building team. This is very relevant to today's masterclass, of course. We have a separate section of Gold Medal Business called Hire Our Team. I have an incredible team of VA support. I wouldn't have the time I do without the VA support. Anybody who signs up to our silver mentorship before Sunday gets 10 hours of free VA support. Why have we mirrored the 2 together? Once you get a taste for VA support, you will not look back. It will change your mindset. And like I said at the beginning, support is closer than you think. It's not about, I need another £600 to have that person. You can have free VA support for a couple of £100 a month. And it's vital and critical to your business. When my VAs are on holiday, I feel like I have no arms and legs, because I rely on them so much. So Jory, I think Jory's still with us. Jory, are you with us? I know we've had a bit of time of connection. If you're still with us, Jory, yes, say Jory. So Jory's one of my amazing VAs. See, I don't even know how to work Zoom anymore with it. Can you just put the link to Silver Mentorship in the chat box for us, Jory? That'd be amazing. But as I said, it's valid till Sunday. £99 a month to get 10 hours of free VA support, really help you with a little bit of systems, processes, whatever you need. And then said you get access to 2 calls a week, our core systems, plus our amazing Facebook community. So anything, at the end of the day, guys, success loves speed. And the often thing that slows you down is you're procrastinating, you're thinking about a question too long. And that's why you're not moving forwards quick enough, because you've not got people to support you and answer the question there and then. That's one of the biggest things I'd say for my growth, is being able to answer the question, get an answer in like a minute, and be like, yeah, don't need to worry about that for a week. I can now move on. So follow the information if that's of interest for you. I said it's valid till Sunday at that price with the 10 hours of free VA support. And I really hope, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on recording, that we get to welcome you to our community. I said we have a phenomenal community across 4 different countries and across many, many different activities. And one of the biggest feedback I get from people is, I love that you cover children's activity entrepreneurs, and you're not just gym, or you're not just dance, and you're not just cricket. I've done that for a reason, because sometimes one industry can get a bit toxic, and sometimes one industry can just get too much of what's working in this world. When you bring it up to what's working in this company, but I can still relate it to my industry or my particular service, it's still children's activity. It all works. But that's why the reasons we get the success we do, because what might be working in the States for a cricket business, you think, you know, I can build that in my gym business. And we're thinking differently. We're working outside the comfort zone, and we're expanding our horizons, and said we're thinking a little bit different. And when you do that, you will start to get different results. So what an honor being with you today, guys, with our masterclass on building a strong team. It's been amazing to spend time with you. I hope you've got loads of great value. And I said you've got one nugget that you can go away and you can implement. I said the main thing, you can train all day long, but if you don't implement anything, nothing is going to change. So I said, it's been an honor being with you. Thank you so much for your time. And so I really look forward to welcoming you in our silver mentorship, so we can really support you with your growth. Last thing before I go, if the silver mentorship is not for you and you are a bigger business, you need to probably look at our gold mentorship, which is the one-to-one mentorship. But please book in a call with our team, and they can define which one is the right one for you if you're not sure. Our gold mentorship is normally for you if you're over like 250, 300 students, and you're over like the 100,000 a year turnover within your business, to kind of give you some idea. But I said, if you need support, please reach out to our team or book a call with us. Anyway, guys, have an amazing weekend, and thank you so much for being with us today on this Thursday afternoon. Love being with you all, and look forward to always welcoming you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.